we talked about this a bit after the last Saturday night's main event, and I felt where you were coming from, but I didn't want to fully believe it. But you're right. It's filler. It's filler.
Straight filler.
And I mean, that's okay. Because the matches could still be really fun. And, like, I feel like now we really know what we're getting into when we turn these on.
And that's what I was thinking. It gives like wrestlers like Jey Uso a chance on a title or some shit like that.
Potentially,
Fun,
yeah.
shit like that.
It gives a chance for a match like Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu to happen, which I don't know would have happened on like the Royal Rumble or another PLE or something like that. Like, it opens up the door for some really cool matches to have a stage that feels like a big stage, but ultimately glorified house show. You know, unfortunately, I think that's the reality of it. And I say unfortunately because when it was first announced that it was coming back and there was all the hype, and especially the first one being in New York and everything,
It's back, Jack.
I think people, I think people, including myself, were expecting this to potentially be like a really significant, important show, like kind of a mini PLE, as I've kind of described it at times. But the mini PLE title has been revoked. It is now glorified house show. Really fun. Well, like, that's not a
Cool.
bad thing. Like,
It's
I feel like,
to watch.
yeah, like people have thrown that around as if that means like, oh, you shouldn't watch it. Like, I've bought tickets to go to a house show before. That's still really fun wrestling. It's fun wrestling to watch on a Saturday night. But it's like, it's not like game changing, storyline shifting, massive moments. And hopefully at one of these shows, eventually the circumstances make it to where we get a big title win or something on one of these shows. But it doesn't seem like they're trying to force it to get the show over. Like, they aren't trying to get us super hooked on like, oh, we gotta watch Saturday night's main event. Like, they had multiple opportunities. They could have given Sheamus the strap if they really wanted to. They could have, if they really wanted to, given it to Jay. And in reality, this was such a predictable show. Such a predictable show.
Literally, bro.
And, you know, is what it is. But I don't know. I guess we could just kind of go through the matches, and if you have any highlights, like the opener, Rhea versus Nia. I thought Rhea looked way more athletic than usual.
Dominant, bro.
Hitting a lot of like athletic, like just jumping around in the ring, doing different type of shit, the code red and shit like that. Like, she pulled out a lot of shit that isn't normal for Rhea Ripley.
High flyer shit, bro. She was doing crazy shit.
I don't know if she remembered a couple things that Dom taught her from the lucha shit, but she paid attention. Cause yeah, and I'm just like wondering, I don't know why she doesn't pull stuff like that out more often. I guess saving it for the big stages, but
saving it for the people who are that big, bro.
It was cool to see. It was cool to see. Yeah, I guess that is true. That is true. But it was cool to see, and if that's the case, like, I think that could be an element that could help Rhea's work continue to improve, because obviously she's just so fucking over as a character, and I think her matches are still really good, but adding a bit of that X factor to her matches, I think could just take her to that next level. So I'm excited to see how that develops. But besides that, there was not any part of me that ever thought Nia Jax had a fucking chance. I'll just be honest with you. Braun Breaker and Sheamus, it was really good, but honestly didn't quite hit that like next gear of like, oh shit, like they're really going at it. Like, I don't know, like,
I'm surprised. I thought that was gonna be the one where they're gonna pull the trigger and give it to Sheamus.
I kind of could have seen it, but
I thought this was gonna like establish it, show like, yeah, like, look,
yeah,
shit can happen here. But
yeah. I guess I understand the idea of building up the chase with Sheamus a bit more, and I guess maybe give him a WrestleMania moment or something. Cause I mean, just to build up the hype around it and everything. Like, I could kind of see why you want to drag it out a bit more to really get the fans invested more in the idea of Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title. Like, people like us obviously know about the whole lore around it, but I'm not sure if your casual fan really cares that much about it. So you gotta, or is just that knowledgeable about it. So you got to try and really emphasize how much this title means to him. And I think part of that is him coming up short a bit and demonstrating to us how much that hurt him and trying to come back. And, maybe Sheamus eliminates Braun from the Royal Rumble and that's how we get back to that or something. Like, I do think we get back to it, but I also think that Braun was the correct winner for now because we got to build a little bit more heat around this thing, in my opinion. Um, Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu was probably my highlight of the night. The match itself, honestly, wasn't that great.
But
So the commercials fucked up the pacing
yeah,
big time. That I don't know who was directing the broadcast and how it got to where during that match we had to go to so many commercial
it got
breaks.
cut right in the middle too.
But it was bad. Like it just killed the flow of the match. And I feel like all I really remember seeing for the most part was Braun Strowman offense. Like he was kind of just tossing Jacob around for a while.
In the beginning, it was Jacob kind of fucking him up, but then
A bit, but I feel like it took for him to just kind of lose it, crash out, start fucking with the referee and everything. And then just decides I'm gonna moonsault you until you die. And I think he would have kept going if someone wouldn't have came out. I think it was Tama Tonga and told him, "Hey, like, relax, man. It's okay. It's okay."
Bro's over here fucking bleeding and shit, bro.
No, man, that shit was ridiculous. And that, so I say that to say,
did you see the video of the ref that fucking went to go look at him and he went,
no,
that shit's funny as fuck.
that is funny. But fucking I just feel like it's a bit of a letdown that I feel like the most hype part of the match was after the match. But I feel like that's partially due to the nature of how it was broadcasted and partially just they were I think they just knew that they were building to that DQ and so the actual match itself just didn't feel like it got the TLC, the tender loving care that it needed, but I digress. It overall like it did the job it needed to do, which was give Jacob Fatu as a solo star like that breakout huge moment and kind of separate him from the bloodline a little more and just have him as an individual. And I felt like we presented Jacob Fatu as an individual and as a fucking star.
So
Like
what the fuck
it
is
worked.
Jacob Fatu's role now going forward?
That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? It doesn't seem like he has much. Like he doesn't care too much that Solo's not around. He's not too worried about it.
What does that lead to? Is like easy, just like.
So I don't think we gotta go bloodline heavy. Like I don't think he's gotta be like, oh well, I'm the tribal chief now, and I like, you know what I mean? I think he could just be Jacob, and
But
be
I run things now.
yeah, and just be the terrifying human that he is, and just honestly keep being yourself. Like it's working so well.
Fucking Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns for the Uafala at fucking WrestleMania.
See, that's what I'm saying. And no, I think you don't need to push him into the bloodline shit. Keep him away from all that shit. Because that's, I think, part of what didn't help Solo fully get over on his own. Is once you start boxing with Roman, you're always going to be the little brother. But let's keep going down this path for a while of Jacob just picking a random babyface on the roster and deciding, I'm going to kill you every time I see you until you don't see me anymore, you know? And right now it's Braun Strowman, but I think that there's so many. Right now, the high level main event scene is starving for heels. That's why Drew McIntyre can be beefing it with so many different people at once. Why KO can be pissing off so many different people at once. Like when you're a heel, you can have like all this different shit going on at once versus all these baby faces that we have at the top level. So I feel like Jacob being able to be another one of those guys that can just, mix shit up with the top level guys would be very valuable. And he's so hot, man. He's so hot. Like, I mean, obviously he just looks hot, but I mean, like he's just on fire right now. He is got this unbelievable momentum, and I can't wait to see what's next. And I just hope they let him do him. That's my main thing. And finally, we got into Gunther and Jay. I'm not too surprised, but a lot of people online seem to be. I felt like this was always gonna be a Gunther win. The 2 count was cool. Like they did try their best to make it feel like Jay was gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Gunther, man.
Tough.
It's Gunther. Were you shocked at all?
Not shocked, but disappointed. I was like, oh wow.
Disappointed?
Yeah, I was like, this could have been the moment he wins his title and shit like that. That would be kind of hard for main event and shit like that.
I feel like you just wanted main event to be better. You wanted something to happen. Did
Man,
you really want Jay to win the title, or did you just want main event to be cool?
I low-key wanted Jay to win the title too.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
And then what?
Who knows? You
Like,
seen Kofi Kingston get killed by Brock Lesnar the next day.
see,
We seen John Cena wrestle Rey Mysterio the day he won the fucking WWE title on Raw. They got vacated.
you can't do that though. If you do that to Jay right now, everyone looks like an idiot. There's no way you can put the title on him and then take it off of him the next day.
Like, gonna have to pull a Vince move.
Nah. See, that's why it's a Vince move, is because it's a bad move. Like, there's no way. With how hot Jay is, do you know how that would anger people? That would legitimately piss people off if they finally got that moment and then you took it right back.
Nah, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Triple H is gonna come out and he's gonna fucking actually take that shit himself, bro. He's gonna come out of retirement.
Alright. It was a decent match overall, but honestly,
You could guess
Gunther
what?
needed to win.
Yeah.
Gunther needed to win. I don't know what the fuck this fool is talking about over here. This fool is, your ass is tripping. Gunther needed to win that one. The right champion retained. Thank God we actually have someone who's a heel with a title going into WrestleMania, or else how the fuck are you gonna book it? I don't know. This fool just wants to give all the baby faces all the fun times all the time. But if you give the fun times out all the time, then the fun times ain't that fun.
There's a lot of people turning fucking heel, bro.
Who?
KO is fucking heel. Fucking Sami Zayn is looking like he's about to turn heel.
I don't know about that one.
Seth is might turn heel.
Maybe, but he kind of just keeps forgiving everyone and moving on. I'll give you one more chance, but next time. That's what he always got to say.
Uh,
I don't know, man. I disagree with what you said about thinking that this was the moment to do it for Jay. I think that moment can come eventually, but this was not it. This was not it. Gunther is too important to how this whole WrestleMania card is gonna shape up, in my opinion.
he's showing it.
You need him. You need him. He's the guy. He is the ring general for a reason. I do think Jay will get that moment at some point, but it's just not quite time yet. So, I guess, it didn't even take us too long to go through the whole card. We didn't even touch on the goddamn segment. I was bummed that we didn't go all the way with the pile driver, but I get it. He's old. Understandable. Overall, it was a confusing segment. Because there was the whole hype about this extra stipulation that Nick Aldis said was going to be added to the contract. And then it was just a standard contract signing.
And then he just got Sweet Chin Music at the end.
And then he got to do a Sweet Chin Music. So I don't know what happened there, but okay, whatever. Overall, how are we feeling about Saturday night's main event as a concept overall, and this show in particular?
It's a cool concept, but it's like it's gonna start getting old if you're doing the same thing, leading up big little title feuds, and then like nothing's happening for them and shit like that. You gotta start doing something different and do that, and not don't focus so much on titles. Probably have like one title match or something.
Give
like
us more of the Braun and Jacob type of matches.
Yeah, like
just
some
bangers.
Type of feud, yeah, or some shit like that. Yep.
I feel that. We'll see. I do agree that overall it's been a bit disappointing so far.
That's gonna bring the overall rating up for the show and shit.
If you just give good matches, no, I agree. We'll see how it plays out
I see why
going
they're
forward.
pushing the title since it's on live television. They want to make it nice and shiny.
I hope the next one isn't for a while, because these were too close back to back. Also, like the last one just happened, and they're already running it back. Like let's let's give it a bit of a break, and then hopefully when it comes back, it feels a little bit more exciting.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, kind of mid. Hopefully the Rumble just makes us forget all about this shit and we can move on. Fuck you. Oh man.